Hi everybody, it's Isaac here back with another video. Today's video, I will be talking about 5 things that you should not do when streaming, or 5 mistakes you should not make. I've seen a lot of people streaming lately. I feel like it's becoming more popular, as the summer goes on, people have more time, and I think it just makes sense that more people are streaming. However, some people do make some mistakes. I made them too. I don't stream a ton now, but I used to stream quite a bit, and I'm going to continue to try to stream as much as I can, as much as my schedule allows it. And so I've observed a few mistakes, and I would like to talk about some of them in today's video. So first thing is first, you want to make sure that you are reading chat. Some people don't read chat for whatever reason. This is a pretty uncommon mistake. Most people like reading chat, including myself. So make sure that you are reading chat, make sure that you are responding to them. It just makes the stream a lot nicer, because otherwise you could basically make like an hour-long video of you racing, and it would be the same thing. So make sure that you're interacting with your viewers. Next, make sure you have background music. If you don't know how to do that, there are plenty of videos. It's very simple. Just make sure. In fact, I'll show you right now in OBS. I'm going to have to move my screen over for my other monitor. But yeah, you can literally, as long as you have desktop audio enabled, you can just go to YouTube, pull up like lo-fi or something, I don't know. Something simple, non-copyrighted, because if you play copyrighted music, your stream will be taken down after it is done. So make sure you don't play copyrighted music, and if you stream on Twitch, it'll actually mute your stream. So don't play copyrighted music, but make sure you're playing music not too loud, not too quietly. You can ask your viewers. I actually have a tablet that I'll watch the stream on, listen to the music myself, and then once it's good to go, I will exit out of it. Next, make sure the quality is okay. Some people stream in really high quality, and some people stream in really low quality, and either one can have its issues. I stream in 480p, which is not great, but it's what my internet will allow while other people are online. I live out in the country. My internet's not terrible, but it's not like super fast. So I do have to watch what quality I'm streaming at. But it is decently good quality 480p. Not all 480p is equal. You do have to adjust the settings a little bit. But if your quality is too high, that can also be a problem, because if your internet isn't fast enough, it'll start dropping frames, or if your computer isn't fast enough, it'll start dropping frames where it'll look laggy. Not to you, but it will to people watching, or if you have a computer lagging issue, then it'll look laggy to you as well. So make sure that you know your internet speeds. I'd recommend streaming at 480p minimum. 480p 30 FPS is probably a good minimum to start with, and then maybe do some test streams and work your way up. Or you could do an internet speed test to figure out right away. If your computer's fast, I recommend 720p 30 FPS. Mine's pretty fast, so I can do like really high resolution if I wanted to, but I don't. Again, my internet really doesn't like it when I'm streaming like 720p or at 1080p when other people are online, which is most of the time. So make sure that you are watching the quality. Also make sure with the FPS, don't go up to 60 FPS until you know for a fact your computer and internet can handle it. So for instance, if you're streaming at 1080p 60 FPS, make sure your computer's handling that. Make sure you're, not only should your stream look fine when you're watching it, your computer should also not be super laggy unless it's always normally laggy. Like my old desktop computer used to be pretty laggy all the time. So people would be like, Isaac, your stream is lagging, you should do something about that. I'm like, nope, my computer always lags, it's not going to get fixed. So yeah, make sure to watch that. I recommend before turning down the quality, turn down the FPS. So if you're on 60, move it to 30. Don't go lower than 30 because then it looks pretty bad. I record in 30 FPS, it looks relatively smooth. But if you're sitting in my position right now, you would notice it does look pretty smooth on my monitor, because my monitor displays 144 FPS, which is a lot more than the normal 60. So everything looks really smooth, and 30 FPS does not look very smooth to me, but it does for most people. So yeah, make sure you watch that quality. Next, this can really help your quality, is your bitrate. Your bitrate is the internet speed you're allowing the stream to use. Don't use defaults. Change it up. If you're streaming 480p 30 FPS, I recommend 1300 kilobits per second to about 1500 kilobits per second. You can go too high, then it'll get unstable. I made that mistake. My first stream, I streamed 480p 30 FPS at like 2500, and that was starting to kind of make it a little unstable. So make sure you watch the bitrate, and then 480p 60 FPS, I would say maybe like 2000 kilobits per second, or maybe make it 2500, I don't know. 720p 30 FPS, I'd say minimum you can go is 1900, and highest I would recommend going is about 4000. And then 780p, not 780, geez, I cannot talk today. 720p 60 FPS, I recommend maybe 4000 to 5000, maybe a little higher than that, maybe 6000. Probably 6 or 7,000 would probably be more than enough. And then anything above 1080p, you should have 10,000. And then, of course, with 4K streaming and stuff like that, you'll do your own research for that, because if you have internet fast enough to stream 4K, just punch in a big number. I think YouTube's limit is 50,000. I'd recommend using maybe like 30,000, maybe 40,000. That's definitely going to be pretty taxing on your internet, so make sure you know your internet speeds. But yeah, if your bitrate is really high or really low for whatever you're streaming at, it can actually make the quality look pretty bad. Also, make sure you manage your stream delay. This kind of is going to get thrown in with quality. Make sure that I would say do normal latency at first, and then if that's fine, move it down to low latency. Or no, not normal. Don't start with normal. That'll give you like 20 seconds of delay. Do low and then do ultra low, or whatever they call it. I do low. I can do ultra low. I just typically leave it on low because I find it is a little bit more stable when I do that. So yeah, also make sure to manage that. And then this is the last one. This kind of just applies to Nitro Type. Don't take too much time in between your races. Like, don't get me wrong, it's definitely a good thing, check chat, talk with chat, do all sorts of fun stuff like that between races. But like, I've noticed in Penguin streams, he'll take like 15 minutes between races sometimes. It's pretty crazy. So I recommend, because you're streaming Nitro Type, people want to see Nitro Type. I mean, they don't want to see just Nitro Type. When I stream, I talk with my chat. I do a pretty good amount of racing, though, for my streams. I typically can get about 50 to 60 done. And that is definitely a little high. I imagine when I have more viewers, that number will go down because I'll be talking with chat more often. But I do recommend, maybe limiting it to like a minute or two between races, at least. At most a minute or two, because then people start to get bored and they will leave the stream. Unless there's a big discussion going on, in which I could say you could definitely go for longer. But don't take like 10 minutes between every single race. Other than that, I think that's it for today's video. There is a Nitro Type cash giveaway going on, and I will link that in the description. That video will show you exactly how to enter, so make sure to follow the instructions. I don't know when I'm going to be able to stream next. Probably I'm going to try to do it sometime this week. We'll see. My internet had a weird little hiccup, so I could still use the internet, but it was really unstable for streaming. I don't know why. And I don't know if it has resolved itself yet. So we're going to find out. So yeah, if I say I'm going to stream a day and then I don't, it's probably because of something like that. Or maybe I'm busy. I don't know. But I don't know when I'm going to be able to stream next. But other than that, I really can't think of anything else to say. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.